Hi everyone, welcome to Cakes You Make. Today we're going to make an Australia Day cake. It's going to be the map of Australia with the Australian flag over the top. All going to be done in fondant, so it's going to be nice and smooth and look beautiful. So here's two cakes I've prepared earlier. What I suggest you do, freeze the cakes before you cut them. I've obviously just done a simple map of Australia, put that over the top and cut around it. These are just a straight butter cake. Usually use something more solid like a mud cake when you're doing a 3D cake, but for this simple thing, I didn't worry about that. Also, one thing I didn't do here, I didn't brush it before I put the frosting on, which I suggest you do, but for me it wasn't as important to get it that completely smooth. So you put the frosting on, this is also called a crumb coat. Generally you do that, you put it in the fridge for half an hour, then come back and do a second coat to get it really smooth. So then lay down some corn flour, put the colouring in, rub it all into it and just massage it. I suggest putting gloves on. It's better just so you don't get all blue or icing colouring all over yourself. Then see I've rolled it out, get it nice and flat, then lay it over. You lay it over, massage it in, keep it nice and warm while it's there, then cut around all the edges right at the bottom, just to get a really nice line. Clean up your work area. Make sure you get rid of all of the previous colour as you're about to go into a new colour, especially when you're using white. And again, I use a flag as a reference and just cut it out to the shape that you need. So I put that aside, then I decided to cut some stars out because I didn't have a star cutter that I could use just to do that at the time. So I cut them out roughly the right size, and I'll come back to that in a minute. What I then did was stuck on the part of the Union Jack, the white section, which was probably a mistake. What I should have done was actually done the red section as well, stuck that on the top, and then put that on the cake. So to do the stars, I found obviously, since I didn't have the cutters, I just traced over them and then cut them out, put the tracing paper or baking paper just over the top as you can see there, and cut out each one. So they're fairly rough, but for what I was doing at the time, that was completely fine, I didn't mind. So usually you would use a star cutter though, much easier. Put a dab of water on the fondant and then put each of the stars on, that'll stick them on. That way they won't go anywhere, so it'll be completely fine. So now doing the red, again just get the Wilton gel, put that on. As you can see I decided to put gloves on this time. And I just kept referencing that flag just to make sure I got the right sort of colour. I cut into square, then I used a little stick just to get the right spacing and sizing. As I said earlier, because I didn't stick it on, which I should have done in the first place, it probably would have been a lot easier. As it was, it came up right, so it wasn't too bad. So then I stuck all the other little bits on, little red bits, just taking your time, cutting each one, getting it the right shape. Again, a dollop of water on the back of it and stick it on. As simple as that. And of course topping off with the Opera House. So there it is, my way of making Australia Day cake on the map of Australia. Hope you enjoyed it. You can also do this with any flag or country map. If you have any questions or of course suggestions on cakes you'd like to see me make, send them on through and I'd be happy to do it. Thanks very much, and look forward to making more cakes for you. That's all for now from Cakes You Make. Just a real quick shout out here to one of our favourite celebrities, Ellen, whose birthday happens to be on Australia Day. Happy birthday, Ellen.